Good evening, member owners and guests. I'm Dan Ferris, Vice President, General Counsel, and Corporate Attorney at Secure Insurance, and I have the privilege of chairing our board at Community First Credit Union. I will now call the 45th annual meeting of Community First Credit Union to order. Secretary Peppercorn, have we established that a quorum is present?
Mr. Chairman, the records show that 2,910 members have registered for the annual meeting.
Thank you, Dave. Members and guests, the Secretary certifies that a quorum is present. This is a legal meeting. This is not the first time in our history that we have faced significant challenges, and I suspect it won't be the last. But COVID-19 continues to have a significant impact on our lives. First, let me express our sympathy to all who have lost loved ones to this virus. Many have also had to deal with the loss of income, employment, and other financial and emotional hardships. You have entrusted Community First to help you navigate these challenges, and we are grateful for the power of the cooperative and the opportunity we have by working together to find a way. We're grateful, too, for the technology that enables a record 3,000 plus members to come together for our virtual annual meeting. It's remarkable. It's my pleasure to introduce the rest of the volunteer board of directors for your credit union. Our Vice Chair, Catherine Seaman, Senior Vice President, CFO, and Treasurer at CSE Insurance Group. Our Secretary is Dave Peppercorn. He's a retired HR executive from Presto Products. Our treasurer is our own Catherine Tierney, the president and CEO of Community First. Dr. Susan May is the president of Fox Valley Technical College. Jay Fulkerson, retired CEO, Health Payment Systems. Dean Hawkinson, architect. Dean's unable to be with us tonight. He underwent bypass surgery today and is doing fine. But please keep Dean and your in your prayers. We have Monica Hilt. She's a hospital president for Ascension St. Elizabeth Hospital in Appleton, Ascension Mercy Hospital in Oshkosh, and Ascension Calumet Hospital in Chilton. And lastly, we have Sarah Micheletti, attorney shareholder at the Sitzman Law Firm. Sarah is watching from home, having just delivered Community First's newest member, Margaret Louise Micheletti. Congratulations to Sarah and her husband, Andy. Next item on the agenda are the minutes from the 2019 annual meeting and reports. The minutes of the 2019 annual meeting and the annual reports, which highlights the president, chairman, and treasurer's reports, have been distributed electronically to all registered attendees. We will place the minutes and reports on file. President Tierney will provide an overview of the reports during her presentation. Now it's time for election of the directors. I'd like to call on Dr. Susan May, Chairman of the Nominating Committee, to present the slate of nominees. Dr. May?
Thank you, Chairman Ferris. This year we have 3 members of the board whose terms have expired. A copy of their bios was included in the materials provided to members attending tonight's meeting. I will now read into nomination the names of those candidates selected by the nominating committee to stand for election to the board of directors. Each will be elected to a 3-year term. Dean Hawkinson, Jay Fulkerson, and Dan Ferris. You've heard the nominations of the nominating committee. Mr. Chairman, because this is an uncontested election, I would like to request a vote by acclamation.
Thank you, Dr. May. Members, in accordance with the credit union's bylaws, I will ask the secretary to cast a unanimous ballot by acclamation. Secretary Peppercorn.
Mr. Chairman, in accordance with the bylaws, the 3 nominees are hereby elected by acclamation to the board of directors. Congratulations to Dean Hawkinson, Jay Fulkerson, and Dan Ferris, who will each serve 3-year terms.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you also to Dr. May and the nominating committee for its work. And thanks for your continued confidence in me and the other re-elected board members. At this time, I'd like to call on our president, Kathy Tierney, for her report.
Hello again. It's always a privilege for me to be here in front of you, albeit virtually this year, to give the report of Community First, what we've accomplished in 2019, what we're looking forward to in 2020, as well as a little bit of information about how we're dealing with COVID-19. Together, we'll find a way. We've been doing it for 45 years. I've had the privilege of being here for the last 44 of those years, and want to assure you that Community First exists only for the benefit of our member owners, all 139,822 of you. Your choice of Community First as your financial partner means that as a member owner, you earn more interest on your deposits, you pay less on your loans, and have fewer fees than you would from other for-profit financial institutions. So I want to thank you for recognizing the benefit of owning a mission-driven, not-for-profit financial cooperative. In 2019, our members saved $43.7 million. That's $313 per member household. You did that by banking with us instead of banking with the average Wisconsin bank. Even better, that money, all $43.7 million, stays right here, strengthening our economy, adding to the economic vitality of the communities that you call home. We believe that the stronger our members are, the stronger our communities are. And with strong and vibrant communities, you and your family and your credit union will thrive. It's a tangible demonstration of the people helping people philosophy and the power of the cooperative. We are grateful to be part of your life and your financial journey. We're helping you to achieve your dreams and goals and to try and make a positive difference for you and your family every day. I'm here at our home office in front of the Together wall. We chose We'll Find a Way as our promise back in 1995 and are as committed and passionate about that promise 25 years later. Our member owners are at the heart of everything we do at Community First. You are not customers or clients or consumers or patrons. To us, you're member owners, and that means something. Member owner means passion, commitment, responsibility, and expectations. It means that you have a say and a voice that carries weight on our shoulders. It means you and we have an opportunity to do so much more together. And behind every one of our member owners, there's an important story. Some of these stories that you so generously share, have become testimonials to validate the work that we do here. And behind every one of these stories, there's one of you or a group of us, all of us working together, supporting one another to make a mortgage happen, or a car loan, or an adoption, or simply to find a way to make you feel at home. Together, we'll find a way. This work of finding a way, it's not just a slogan. It's who we are. It's what we do. We're part of something incredibly meaningful, something that changes people's lives. When we say we'll find a way, we're giving our word. It's our promise, and it's not just a promise to our member owners. It's our promise to one another. It's our promise to the cooperative, to the communities we serve. We're giving our word. So yes, words matter because they are so much more than just words. They're the mortar that holds us together, the bond between us to thoughtfully, passionately give our best effort and dig really deep to find a way. You know, our success is not only defined by our strong financials or the number of branches we have, but by the board and management-focused strategy to make certain your credit union is well positioned for the future. The board and leadership team recognize that our industry, like all industries, has to constantly adapt and evolve to meet your changing needs. In April of 2019, we completed our 4-year journey to upgrade our technology to improve and enhance your member experience. The transformation included new systems in our finance and operations department, a new lending platform, the addition of Architect, our new online mobile banking system. And all 545 employees embraced the challenge of learning these new systems, plus a new human resource information system. They worked not only days, but nights and weekends, gave up their vacations to prepare for the April 1st, 2019 conversion to DNA, our new core system software. It's interesting that that was scheduled 30 years to the day that we did our last core system conversion. Believe me, we squeezed every penny we could out of our old systems. But the change has been hard for you and for our team as we're trying to learn together. They say no pain, no gain. And while we still have more to learn, we're past the pain, hopefully, and now positioned for long-term success. We want you to know how incredibly grateful we are for the patience, kindness, and good humor that you, well, most of you anyway, have maintained through these changes. We will continue to invest in technology, new products, and other innovative solutions to better serve you. But trust me, we will never lose sight of the importance of connection and our personal relationships with you. We believe in the power of that person-to-person connection, and that a branch or call to our Answered by Human member contact center is the best place to receive advice and guidance to help you achieve your financial goals. I'm here in our member contact center. In 2019, this team of 35, with some help from our branch staff, fielded 631,000 calls, 10,000 emails, 26,000 loan applications for more than $80 million in loans to Community First members. We're committed to real people answering our phones because you deserve that as a member owner and because we love talking with you. Every dollar we make at Community First goes back into the cooperative to benefit you, our members, and the communities we serve. Through our sustainable growth and financial strength, working together, we're able to provide more value to everyone. In 2019, assets increased $295 million to just over $3.4 billion. We welcomed 3,482 new member owners to Community First. Last year, loans increased by $114 million for an 8.5% growth, and deposits grew $311 million or 11.8%. Delinquency continues to be much lower than industry average at 0.28%, and charge-offs are 0.08%, far lower than our peer group. Our expense ratio remains one of the lowest in the industry. Operating expenses increased just 6%, even with the addition of our new technology and the Lake Park branch, which opened in March. Happily, dividends paid to members climbed by more than $14.5 million. That's a whopping 62% increase over 2018. $38.8 million was added to our reserves to continue to build the financial stability of the credit union. At December 31st, our reserve ratio stood at 13.28%, well above the regulatory limit of 7%. We proudly serve members from 26 full-service and 5 non-traditional locations throughout northeastern Wisconsin. Community First is the third largest credit union in Wisconsin and ranks number 70 in the nation. That's up from 72 in 2018. For the 11th consecutive year, we've earned the Radin Crystal Performance Award as one of the top 10 credit unions in the nation for our financial performance and strength. Actually, we're in the top 2. We also received recognition from Forbes as America's Best In-State Credit Union 2019 and Standard & Poor's SNL Financial Top 50 Credit Unions in the U.S. On behalf of our members, Community First proudly supports hundreds of community programs that provide access to arts, culture, education, stable housing, mental health, wellness, and basic needs, creating a community where everyone can achieve their dreams. When we support local organizations through philanthropy and volunteerism, our communities thrive and places are created where we are all proud to work and to live. Over the past year, the credit union continued its commitment, providing $1.7 million in support. 509 team members volunteered over 17,660 hours for 463 organizations, sharing their time and treasure. Two very special projects for us in 2019-2020 include the Community First Career Exploration and Financial Literacy Center in conjunction with Junior Achievement at Fox Valley Technical College. This is a critical educational resource for K through 12 students throughout our region and will provide hands-on learning that will position our children for a brighter future. Additionally, Community First partnered with 10 local municipalities and the Fox Cities Visitor and Convention Center to create the Community First Champion Center. This multi-purpose sports facility provides much-needed space for families, kids, and teams throughout the region for practice and tournaments. Pre-COVID, it was booked solid every evening and weekend, and the economic impact to the area will be significant. In its very short tenure, it has been named the top new sports facility in the United States. We began 2020 with 3 new strategic initiatives focusing on member experience, employee experience, and financial performance. In just 15 days on June 30th, we will launch a totally new website presence that is easier to navigate and works seamlessly on any device you choose. This has been a long-awaited upgrade and represents 2 years of work by our marketing team. We're really excited to bring it to you. We will continue to update our new core and online banking systems. In fact, an upgrade took place this past weekend. We value your feedback and your suggestions as we strive to make these tools work best for you. Delivering great service requires committed and engaged employees who have a heart to serve. Competition for talent has been fierce, and we need to focus on meeting and exceeding our employee needs to become an employer of choice. Our new home office has already helped the credit union attract and retain top talent. This is so important to the future success of Community First. The new building is something the membership can be proud of because it represents our commitment to our employees, to you, and to the community. We are actively engaged in culture and leadership development to retain great employees and provide you with the very best service. And we're proud that more than 30% of our employee base has been promoted here at Community First. Later this summer, we will begin remodeling the Oneida Street and Ballard Road offices. This is a part of our long-range strategic plan for branch upgrades. We've also purchased land in Manitowoc for a future branch location and are looking at additional branch opportunities in Green Bay and in Oshkosh. This year, we'll see a continued focus on Community First Financial Advisors and the Community First Insurance Center, bringing additional products and services to help with retirement, investment planning, wealth management, and protection for members, their families, and businesses. Community First is incredibly fortunate to have the consistent and able support of our board of directors who volunteer their time. You elect them as your representatives to guide the organization in fulfilling its mission, to establish governance policies, and to monitor the performance of Community First. We are incredibly grateful to them for sharing their considerable time, talent, and resources. Their contributions make a significant and lasting impact. As I wrap up my remarks, we find ourselves in an unprecedented time. Community First is financially strong, prepared, and ready for the challenges ahead. What you do is your history. What you set in motion is your legacy. As we celebrate Community First's 45th year, we honor the legacy of our founder, Maury Dresang, who passed away on March 11th of 2019. A life's work begins with a single moment, an idea. 5 guys, $100, the trunk of a car. Humble beginnings. What Maury began has grown beyond his wildest dreams. But this isn't the story of accounts or balance sheets. It's the story of making a difference. Grounded in humble beginnings and a strong sense of purpose, fostered by a man who we remember today and every day. In Maury's words, you start from scratch, you encourage somebody to make deposits, and after you've got enough money collected, you can maybe then make a loan to somebody. The money comes from the membership to help other members that need help. It's people helping people. And to me, it's that simple. That's what Maury said. It's that simple. Simple because for him, it always came back to one thing: the members. Your dreams, your challenges, your goals, your life. When he called the nurses with the county to gather deposits so he could make a loan, it was to help a member. With every new credit union that sought his counsel and the formation of a credit union service center, he was helping members. When he was petitioning the state for a change in the laws to enable credit unions to merge, it was for the members' benefit. And as he grew Community First, adding services and products and locations, it was always with the members in mind. It's that simple. We treasure the beginnings Maury gave to us and the possibilities he's given to our members. More than that, we're grateful to him as a young entrepreneurial spirit with a passion to serve and the guts to transform lives. Legacy is about purpose. It can best be described as a journey through time, a process of harnessing the past to cultivate the future, and the wisdom, the values, and insights that come from years of ongoing development and experience. Legacy connects us to a sense of meaning beyond ourselves and is the driving force behind the imprint we leave on the world. In the poem Live a Life That Matters, we are given these reminders. What will matter is not what you bought, but what you built. Not what you got, but what you gave. What will matter is not your success, but your significance. What will matter is every act of integrity, compassion, courage, or sacrifice that enriched, empowered, encouraged others to emulate your example. What will matter is not your competence, but your character. What will matter is not how many people you knew, but how many will feel a lasting loss when you're gone. What will matter is not your memories, but the memories of those who knew, loved, and admired you. What will matter is how long you'll be remembered and for what. Living a life that matters doesn't happen by accident, it happens by choice. Live a life that matters. Maury did that, and we're forever grateful for his legacy of trust, leadership, and outstanding service in the spirit of people helping people. Good evening. Here I am live. You just had the opportunity to see my remarks that were recorded earlier this week, and we thought it would be really nice for members to get a chance to have a little better look of at the inside of our home office and get to see some of our team in action. As we round out the rest of my presentation this evening, I want to take a moment to welcome and celebrate our newest members, the members of Oshkosh Truck Employees Credit Union. On February of 2019, the members of OTCU voted unanimously in person to merge with Community First. Our teams came together and we were able to complete the merger on March 1st of this year. We're certainly grateful for the confidence they have in us as a partner and our promise to them to continue to honor their 62-plus year history of service to the employees and families of Oshkosh Corporation and their affiliates. We're also really excited about the newest branch that we gained through this merger on Oregon Street in Oshkosh, and it's truly a blessing for us not only to be able to serve the 1,600 plus member owners of OTCU, but also to welcome Sarah Steichen, their longtime president, as well as Val, Vicki, and Carly to our team here at Community First. One of the things that we wanted to do this evening in this new format is give members an opportunity to ask questions. So members were able to list their question as a part of the registration, and I've combed through those this past week and pulled a few out that we could talk about tonight. I really appreciate all of the questions that we received. It's nice to know what's on your mind, and we had a lot of repeat questions, so that's good. That's how I grouped them. But I want you to know that we're going to personally reach out to each and every member. We have your information as a part of your registration, so no matter what the question you asked, we will personally reach out to make sure your question gets answered. And you've given us a lot of wonderful things to react to and to think about as well. I also want to encourage members to reach out to me anytime. president@communityfirstcu.org. My phone number is readily available. Don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call if you've got questions, if you've got concerns, or something you want to talk with me about in regard to your credit union. It matters to me, for the past 44 years, and it will matter to me for as long as I'm here. You're the reason we do what we do. So let's talk about COVID-19. That's what precipitated this new format that we're using tonight. It certainly had an incredible impact on all of us. And we had a number of questions around COVID-19, how it's impacted the credit union, our employees, as well as our members. The most frequent question we got is, when are you going to reopen the lobbies? So you can see the questions on the screen. And I'm going to spend a few minutes giving you some insights on how the global pandemic has impacted Community First. I think it's worthy to note that not unlike healthcare workers, grocery store, and others, financial services is an essential business, and we like to think of ourselves as financial first responders. I'm really very proud of the commitment and dedication of our team and our board for their support through this very trying and challenging time. So let's talk about taking care of our team. On March 18th, with the virus gaining traction in the U.S. and the governor's order of safer at home, our leadership team quickly worked to put our pandemic plan in place. We followed the CDC, World Health Organization, and other guidelines as we put our processes in place. As an essential business, we needed to make sure that we could balance the health and safety of our employees as well as our members with our members' financial needs. We were able to deploy 130 of our more than 560 employees to work from home. Of paramount importance, of course, as a financial institution is making sure that when people work from home, all of our member information is secure and protected. We have an obligation to you to make sure that happens. Our technology team did a wonderful job of quickly setting up systems to enable our folks to work from home. Of course, as a retail business, many of the roles that happen here at Community First can't be done from home, like our branch and our call center staff. We decided then to expand our drive-up services and allow services that we typically wouldn't take care of at the drive-thrus, and offer lobby service by appointment in order to control the number of people coming into the branch at any one time. Sanitation supplies were provided. We increased the frequency and depth of the cleaning of our offices. And employees and members were asked to stay home if they didn't feel well. Wash their hands frequently and not touch your face, right? That's what we were all taught. Community First did not furlough any employees through COVID-19. We also provided appreciation pay for those team members who were coming into the office every day, starting in March and going through April. We gave employees an option to cash out their vacation time. This was, it has been and continues to be an incredible time for us, and it was right on the heels of our technology transformation in 2019. So many of our employees forewent their vacation time thinking, they'd use it in 2020. Well, now with the pandemic, that was difficult to make happen. So we understood that it could be a financial help to them to be able to cash out some vacation time, and a number of employees took advantage of that. Another much appreciated change on the part of our team was to allow casual apparel while the lobbies were locked down. Most important was frequent communication to the team. Connecting one another here in the office as well as those who worked remotely. Learning how to use new technologies like Zoom and Microsoft Teams and Google Rooms and WebEx and other communication. Our leadership team met every single day for all of March and into April, assessing every changing situation and making the right decisions for the credit union, our members, and our team. Of course, another big concern was the well-being of all of you, the members of this organization. As I mentioned before, drive-up service was expanded to include things we typically could not do at the drive-up. And while that caused some longer wait times, most members were very appreciative to be able to stay in the safety of their vehicle, during that, especially in the beginning and the uncertainty of what we were dealing with. We were very happy, however, to continue to accommodate members who wanted or needed to come into the lobbies to access their safe deposit box, to close a loan or open an account, or for some other type of service that just couldn't be handled through the drive-through or the phone or online. This reconfiguration gave us the flexibility, though, to redeploy many of our branch staff to help in other areas. Our call center was so busy during this time, but it was great to be able to have folks out in the branches who could log in and take member calls. We also are incredibly busy and have been through all of COVID-19 with mortgages, both on the refinance and the purchase side. So many of our folks were able to assist in mortgage processing as well as with special projects. As I mentioned, we had huge call volumes, especially in April when the stimulus checks were set to arrive, and many members are like, did it come? Has it been deposited? Our call volume really spiked. But I'm really pleased to say that we were able to answer all calls within an average of 12 seconds, and that's due to the help from our folks at all the different branch locations. And I know members have told us how grateful you were for that. As members were dealing with furloughs, childcare issues, and other financial stressors, we automatically increased credit card limits by $500 and deferred payments on credit cards for 90 days just in case members had a need. We then did thousands, literally thousands of loan deferrals, providing any member who asked a 90-day with no payment deferment due to COVID-19. And we offered emergency relief loans, providing up to $4,000 with no interest or payments for the first 120 days to help members get through this time. We also deployed remote document signing partway through April to assist members in being able to close loans and sign forms with the credit union electronically. I'm so very proud that through it all, we were able to continue to serve you, and our team stayed healthy and safe. In many respects, we look at the blessings that have occurred as a result of this time. Because we were able to retain a bit of a semblance of normalcy, as many of us came to work each and every day, we were also able to implement new technologies and really look at new ways to accomplish work. And that's a good thing. I thought you'd find some of these statistics interesting. Before COVID, we averaged 616 members a day coming into our branches. That dipped down to 146 in April and is slowly starting to rise with 150 in the month of May and even more now in June. Member transactions, which averaged 88,000 plus per week pre-COVID, didn't drop a whole lot in April. I think that's the impact of the stimulus money coming in, but has declined a bit in May as people have been staying home and just not out and about and spending as much. As I said, our phone transactions increased significantly in April, but have returned to a more normal state now. We got questions from you about PPP loans, the SBA's program to help business. How we handled that opportunity is really remarkable in my eyes. The program was designed to assist businesses in keeping their people employed. It was a daunting task as the SBA was trying to figure out what the rules were, and right up until the last minute, actually 7 p.m. on the night before the program opened up to the public, we were still getting information about what the rules were and how to make it work. Our team embraced that challenge and created a simple and easy-to-use process for our business member owners. They work nights and weekends, and to date, we've processed 803 PPP loans over the course of both offerings for just over $42 million. This is a direct impact to over 6,500 jobs right here for our member business owners in our communities. Think of those 6,500 people and their families and the impact that it has on the economic stability and their lives. We were also able to help 75 new members who had personal business with Community First but had business accounts elsewhere and weren't able to get the help they needed from their financial institution. That was a big benefit to them and to us. One of the greatest benefits in addition to helping members is how the PPP program is helping all of us collectively at the credit union. By processing those loans, the SBA pays financial institutions a fee. The fee income that we've earned for PPP loans is just under $2 million. That's going to go a long way to help the bottom line as we wrestle through these challenging times. We also did loan deferments, payment deferments for 85 of our member business loans to help them. Another key impact here was the increase in communications to members to keep you apprised of changes and for ways for us to help you. And we did that through our website, online banking, and emails. Your most pressing question has been, when are the lobbies going to reopen? You know, our lobbies have continued to be open this whole time just by appointment. So we're monitoring developments, and the leadership team is suggesting that we reopen completely on July 6th. Of course, with so many of the things that have transpired in the past few weeks and protests and other gatherings, we watch diligently every single day to see what the reaction is. And if we have to change that, we will certainly let you know. But as of now, we plan to have the lobbies reopened on July 6th. We ask members, just as we've asked our team, to be thoughtful and respectful of everyone, not to come to the credit union if you're not feeling well. When you do come, to make sure that you observe social distancing. Masks are a personal choice. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. And we are really, really looking forward to having our members come back to visit with us. You know, we're built on personal relationships, and while we're happy and grateful that we've got all the technologies and tools for you to be able to do the majority of your business anytime, anywhere, we really look forward to getting back to business and being able to connect with you on a one-to-one basis in person whenever you choose. The next set of questions I'm going to address talk about the interest rate environment, what we pay on our deposit accounts, why we build buildings, and how that impacts our rates and things. And, you know, being a member-owned financial institution, those are all really important and valid questions. Certainly managing a financial institution of any size is a daunting task that's often impacted by elements we have absolutely no control over, like the interest rate environment and the overall economic environment, as well as unexpected challenges like global pandemics. As you can see from the questions listed here, we have to balance many different interests and many points of view. Why don't you pay more on deposits? What's going to happen to mortgage rates? You seem to favor borrowers over depositors. Why did you have to build a new home office? Oneida Street isn't that old. Why are you building buildings instead of paying us more on our deposits? Let's talk a little bit about how the credit union makes money. So we have three primary sources of income. The largest is the interest that we earn on loans that we make to members. It accounted for 71% of our total income in 2019. The average yield on our loan portfolio was 3.96% in 2019, and so far in 2020, it's 3.99%. So 71% of our income is derived by loans to members. And the return that we get on that entire portfolio, when you balance out, some people pay 2.5% based on what kind of loan they have, others pay more. The overall yield is 3.99%. The next area is our fee income. That accounts for about 21% of our gross income. And that consists of fees that are paid by members, like checking account maintenance fees, loan-related fees, overdraft fees. And then there is fee income that we get that isn't paid by members. Interchange and fees on debit cards and credit cards. Those fees are paid by merchants in order to be able to use those cards to get paid. So the wonderful thing is, every time a Community First member uses a Community First debit or credit card, income comes back to the credit union. It doesn't cost the member anything, but it really benefits the cooperative. That debit and credit card income for more than $13 million in 2019. It's nice to know that you can have such a positive impact just by using your cards. The last source of income we have is investment income. So we take the money that you deposit, and any money that's left after we make loans, we invest. We're not allowed by regulation to invest in the market or take undue risk. In 2019, our investment portfolio was more than $624 million. The average yield on that money was 2.05. At the end of this year, our investment portfolio has swelled to more than $890 million. Our assets have grown significantly as stimulus dollars and other monies have come into the credit union from our members. But our average yield went from 2.05 down to 0.89. So when you stop and think about it, we're yielding 3.99% on the loans. We're yielding 0.89% on our investment portfolio. And that's why sometimes it might seem like we favor borrowers, because the very best way for us to deploy your money and make sure that we make enough money to give you the very best deposit returns is in loans to our members. While we have two sources of income, we have two sources of expense. Operating expenses, which include the staff and all the buildings and supplies, real estate taxes, all of the things that a business has to pay to stay in business. And then the second expense is the dividends that we pay to members on their deposits. As you can see, in 2019, our overall operating expenses increased less than 6% overall. Dividends to members, however, increased 62% from 2018. And that is a function primarily of the interest rate environment. It was much better in 2019 than it was in 2018. So you ask questions about our buildings and our expenses and how does that all impact what we're able to pay. Here's a look at our expense to average assets from 1995 through 2020. And I picked 95 because of the question that the member asked, well, why did you have to build a new headquarters? Because you already had Oneida Street and it's not that old. It is a little bit old. We opened that office in September of 1995. And as you can see, back then, our expense ratio to average assets was 3.99%. Over the years, despite adding branches and locations and new services, we've really worked hard to manage our expenses down. And you can see that we were able to get them to an all-time low of 1.88% in 2017. In 2018, we bumped up a little bit to 2.03%. That is a result of us opening our new headquarters building and all of the expenses incurred with that, as well as all of the technology purchases that we made to upgrade our technology systems. And I like to remind members that We were using technology that we put in place back in 1989. So one thing you can count on for sure from us is that we squeeze every nickel out of every purchase and every investment that we make on your behalf. Through the years, as I said, even as we've added branches and other services, we've reduced the expense ratio. The interesting thing as well is that if you compare us to our peer group, the state of Wisconsin credit union expense ratio average is 3.14%. The national average is 3.41. I'm proud to stand here today and tell you that our average through May of 2020 is now 1.9. So, I want to assure our members that we work really, really diligently to keep expenses managed. That means more dollars that are available to keep deposit rates higher and keep our loan rates lower. I know how hard it is when you rely on your certificates and other investments for your income. Because just as you saw, we do too. And despite the huge drop in interest rates, just through COVID-19, we have held really strong to keep our rates to members as high as possible. That means our overall net income will be less in 2020 at year end than it was in 2019. But that's also why we've spent years building our reserves to help us weather storms like this and make sure that we can do the very best for our members. This graph shows how our interest rates compare, and these are our rates that we just pulled. Actually, we pulled them today. How they compare to banks in this local marketplace. So we're comparing to BMO Harris, Associated, Nicolay, and Wells Fargo. And you can see that as a member owner of Community First, you earn more. We're proud for that. Most of our history, we've always made sure our deposit rates are as high as possible and our loan rates are as low as possible. And I know in times like these, we all wish it could be different. We all wish we could earn more, but that's not the case. I also put a little line about the 1-year Treasury rate, and you can see the precipitous drop that has taken. Right now, even with $890 million available to invest, it's very difficult for us to get more than half of 1% on investments in the marketplace. And yet we continue to pay members significantly more than that on our certificates, because that's why we built our reserves, so that we could try to do the best job possible by you. And we'll see what's to come. It's the markets are really unstable right now. It's hard for any of us to know what direction it's going to go, but you can rest assured that Community First is strong and well prepared to carry us into the future. So that's the power of the cooperative. And in a sense, if you think about it, it's like our circle of life. It's, like Maury said, very simple. Members save at better rates so that we can make loans to members at better rates. We pay less fees, and by using your Community First debit and credit cards, you can help generate income at no cost to you. And together, we make a big difference, not only for one another, but for our communities. I want to thank you for your time and attention tonight, for being so really kind to us and gracious as we've tried to navigate our way through these interesting times. And I'm sure there'll be more to come, but our doors are open. My line is open, and I encourage you to reach out because we're here for you. This is your credit union. And now I'd like to turn it back over to Chairman Ferris. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy, for that report, and thank you for your leadership of our credit union through these unprecedented times. The Secretary has confirmed that there is no old business to come before the meeting. But before we conclude, we'd like to honor two very special people who have had such significant impact on the success of our credit union, Tim Saborski and Jeff Schweitzer. Tim Saborski, our Chief Lending Officer, will retire after 25 years of service on July 1st. Tim began his career in the early 80s as a loan officer. At the time, we had just 3 branches, Richmond, Oneida, and Forest Avenue. He was lured away and spent a number of years working in the mortgage industry, but then returned to Community First in 1998 as Chief Lending Officer. That year, our loan outstanding were $198 million. Today, under Tim's leadership, loans are more than $2 billion. Over the years, he has helped literally thousands of members achieve their dreams of owning a home, buying a car, adopting a child, and so much more. Tim has been our guiding light through good times and challenging times. He has a passion to make a difference, and the way he treats every member in his team with genuine caring and respect shows in all that he has helped us accomplish. His signature statement every morning as he enters into the office, "It's a great day at Community First." He will remain a cherished friend and member owner and has left a lasting and meaningful legacy, and we are grateful for his service. Jeff Schweitzer, Senior Vice President of Facilities and Purchasing, will retire after 22 years of service this September. Jeff began his career as Facilities Manager here at Community First after 20 years at LaSalle, now known as Affinity. When he joined, we had 7 branches, and Jeff has been instrumental in the design, construction, and opening of over 20 branches. One of the highlights of his career was the construction of this new home office building, a project that took more than 5 years from planning to completion. Along the way, his commitment has gone beyond the doors of Community First to board roles at Housing Partnership, Levin, and St. Joe's Food Pantry. Jeff shared that he enjoyed the growth of the credit union and the relationships built along the way, most especially the family atmosphere. Jeff will continue being a member owner and has left a beautiful legacy for all to enjoy for years to come. We are appreciative of his dedication and commitment to service. Tim and Jeff, we thank you for the privilege of working with you through the years, for your examples of enthusiasm, integrity, dedication, and compassion. We thank you for the countless ways you have contributed to our professional and personal growth, the contributions they have made to our team, our members, and the credit union movement. You both have left your handprint on our hearts, and you have changed us forever for the better because we have known you. The greatest tribute we can offer is the knowledge that your going makes us miserable. We are very grateful for the legacy of service you leave to us. Here's to your health and happiness. Well, we have weathered a number of difficult economic periods in the past 45 years and have emerged stronger and better prepared to meet future challenges. That's the power of the cooperative and people helping people. Working together, we'll continue our promise of finding a way to make it through the adversity, supporting our members and communities we serve. So on behalf of the entire board, we thank you. Thank you for being a member owner of Community First. Thank you for your confidence in us. And thank you for taking the time to attend our first virtual annual meeting. At this time, we will adjourn the meeting, and Amanda Secor will announce the winners of our door prize drawings. Thank you.
Well, we are very excited this evening to have $4,500 in cash that we are awarding to 104 members in honor of our 45th annual meeting. First, we'll announce our $20 cash winners, and every member that we announce, you'll be receiving an email or a phone call to confirm your cash winnings, and then we'll be making that deposit into your membership savings. So our $20 cash winners, we have Margot Brocky of Appleton, Robert Yanda of Appleton, Jeffrey Mishler, also of Appleton, Rebecca Pettit, John Ladd, Jessica Harris, Mary Capon, Carrie Reichwald, Robert Clark, Peter Mariazzi, Sharon Razashik, David Pop, Miriam Meyer, Julie Freilich, Jane France, Shen Yang, Peggy Lynch, Harland Grandy, John Bell, and Tom Wiltsius. Also winning $20 in a deposit to their membership savings are Richard Reindl, Michael Moderson, Nancy Otto, John Wellhouse, Aaron Nettenkoven, Gary Lignowski, Sandy Durand, Timothy Pulowski, Diane Mater, Karen Boykins, Aaron Bishop, Cindy Thymer, Patricia Boutwell, Sandra Hartfile, Mary Jo Hetherington, Julie Janasset, Brandon Doty, Judy Peters, Vicki Van Epps, and Deborah Sharkey. Next, we'll move on to winners of $50 deposits. $50 will go to Jill Duzeski, Ellen Amick, Kathy Franzi, Chester Shields, Rayburn Pepler, Mary Beth Minelschmidt, Rick Odegaard, Marcia Donlin, Jim Rougeau, Terry Schroeder, Theodore Penn, Earl Gronowski, Paul Williams, Tim Vanderheiden, Dave Paul, Sherry Banks, Michael Pearson, and Alyssa Bibby. In addition, $50 winners include Carol Jacobs, Robert Vandermouse, Michael Farrell, Carrie Wagner, Scott Nye, Angel Elmer, Christina Lewis, Pete Widener, Thomas Bengry, Benjamin DeSoto, James Grob, Margaret Yakel, Cynthia Patterson, Chris Graisley, Kathleen Euchre, Michael Yar, Catherine Moriarty, and Sarah Schneider. Finally, our last group of $50 cash winners includes Vincent Dyer, Vicki Shearer, Stephen Arnoldison, Dave Wachholtz, Sandy Grosnick, Deborah Jens, Kayleen Curtis, Michelle Wodacek, Steve Toma, Samir Afroon, Ryan Anderson, Gina Bauer, James Learigan, Carol Kasler, Douglas Mathewson, Richard Radley, Robert Elrick, and Mark Brueggemann. And finally, we've got winners of $100 in our door prize drawing this evening. Congratulations to Susan Guccio, Armard Wiggins, Nanette Bunno, Don Smith, Elizabeth Stukenberg, Jenny Withers, Barb Flatt, Melissa Dawes, Deborah Francois, and Cynthia Sanders. Congratulations to all of our winners, and thank you to all of you for registering and attending our annual meeting this evening.